Hey, I'm Stephen Perkins. I'm a drummer. I'm 47 years old, born and raised Los Angeles, bred and spread across the world with these. Now, I have a love affair with my drumsticks. It's my hands and my drumsticks. It's not the drum set, it's not the band, it's not the business, it's me and the rhythm. And I started when I was 8 years old, and I tell you, to have that love affair still hot is what matters. Because we can all learn from the same book, how to do right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, how to hold the stick correctly, and technique. But really it's about your personality, your style, your life experience going into your music. That's the art of it. And I found out at a young age I'll never be Neil Peart or John Bonham or any of the greats that I love. I can try so hard to replicate them, and that helped me get better. But really is when I found out what I sounded like, is when the music and the scene and the actual feeling of being a creative, organized musician, getting it done, that's when it happened, when I found my own style. And my love was African music and jazz music and rock music, and that's what you hear in my playing. I'm also very hyper and talkative, and that's what you hear in my playing. So my favorite players are the personality guys. When you hear them play, you think you get to know their personality, even though you never met the guy. And a lot of the technique guys go over my head because I'm not feeling it. But a lot of the guys with the passion and a story to tell, those are the musicians that turn me on, and I think those are the musicians that turn and stir the world. So to a young player, gathering ideas and gathering, the passion, there's this great understanding of what you can do with your drumsticks. And then there's that competitive spirit. I found it when I was in high school. I joined the marching band. I thought I was fantastic until I found 10 other guys that did the same exact thing. So maybe I wasn't so great. We're all great. How do I get better? And that competitive spirit pushed me up and pushed me out of the pool of what everybody was doing. And I was able to find a sound and also somehow become a magnet to other players that had style. And that's really what happened. It's like a tennis game. If you're a great tennis player, you've got to play with another great tennis player or you won't have any rally. He's not going to be able to return your serve. So you don't want to hold back your serve too. You want to give full power at all times. So as a musician, you start realizing who is raising to the top and who is rising to the top as far as what their sound and their style and their technique is. And of course, the time you put into it. Now, when I grew up, there was just baseball, BMX, bicycle riding, and drums. Now there is a lot more to kind of dilute the actual work ethic. And there's a lot of information coming at you. So how do you pick what you love and get into it? Well, the drums picked you, really. You didn't pick them. You have to play. It feels good to play. If I don't play for a week, I don't feel good up here. And not only are my hands suffering and my endurance, but my passion for life kind of suffers because the music is my actual rope pulling me through life. The way to make my moment count is to be a drummer, because when you're drumming, you're living in the moment. You never want to get to the end of the song and go, hey, how many times did that verse go? I don't even remember. It's like driving and you don't remember getting home. You're just there. I want the song to be in the moment, and you have to live with the lyric, the bass line, the guitar part, the whole subject matter, what's going on in the audience. That all happens at the same time when you're playing. So as a young drummer, don't forget this power and the responsibility you have. If you ever see Rage Against the Machine, if the guitar plug breaks, they're still rocking to the drum beat. 200,000 kids in England. But if the kick drum pedal breaks, you're going to have a problem. You know what I mean? So think about the responsibility the drummer has to kind of stir up and whip up the room and keep it going. And that's how I think I take that attitude towards life. My drumming is really a mirror to the way I live. And the way I live is a mirror to my drumming. I'm passionate about enjoying each day, waking up and getting into my day. When I get on the drum set, I'm passionate about seeing what I can do and what it can do for me. And I always thought about Iggy Pop, what he puts his body through for the audience, because they showed up for him and he shows up for them. And that's what I think my drum set kind of relationship is. It's there, it's beautiful, it's waiting for me. It's quiet until I get there, and then I can kind of stir it up. And that's how it is when you get band members in the room, and then audience people, and an audience in the room. And I think that's the growth. It's an organism that grows bigger and bigger, and it starts with the drummer. It starts with the beat. It all starts in Africa with a big rhythm. You know, even the most simple Ringo Starr beat is transcribed into a rhythmic African pulse. One of my favorite songs is called Tomorrow Never Knows. And the beat, ooh, ka, ka, ooh, ka, ka. If you did that on a djembe, it's African. Ka, 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 ka. It's an African rhythm. You put it on a trap kit and you add psychedelic drone, you've got a great Beatles tune. But it's based on a pulse. And that pulse, from Ginger Baker to Elvin Jones to John Bonham to you, this is the pulse of life. And I love rock music. But when I found Latin music and Indian music, all of a sudden my rhythms opened up, and I found jazz and swing, and then my technique got better. But really, rock music is my passion. I love the feeling it gives me. And so I think you find your passion and then you decorate it with everything else to make you a better player. The business is ever changing, so don't depend on it. Music is ever changing, so you got to find your own sound. And you got to work with great players. I was so fortunate to find great players at a young age that encouraged my playing, and they never put the brakes on me. And you know, some producers might put you in a direction or change your ideas. That's not a bad or good thing. It's making music together with people, you know, and you got to find the right people to do it with. And I think that's important too. It's a team sport, being in a band. You know, it's not like being a writer or a painter. You're there alone. This is something you got to do with people. So you have to realize their ideas are important. You might think you got the best beat ever, and then the bass player goes, well, try it like this. Oh, I never thought of it that way. And all of a sudden you've got new ideas because the bass player sat in your drum kit for a minute. He's not a drummer, perhaps, but he showed you an idea that he heard. And then you have to recognize it's just music. There is no right or wrong, right? It's just expression. So I said a lot, I feel a lot. I guess the bottom line is pick up that drumstick in one hand and in the other and have that love affair, just like Jimi Hendrix had with his hands in his guitar neck. Just like Jimmy Page does when he picks up a guitar and writes the most amazing songs that still stand today. That's the power of music. If Beethoven was alive today, he might be writing music on an iPad, you know, but he had a piano. What do you have? So whatever it is that is around you, and also the environment. Van Halen couldn't come out of New York. Living Colour couldn't come out of LA. Seattle had a sound. Miami's got a sound. Don't forget to look around you and taste what your city and your town and your friends give you. And that's your sound. Jane's Addiction is LA, Hollywood, 1985. Porno for Pyros, we would go to Tahiti in Mexico. That's what we sounded like. We had like surf songs because we went to places to surf. And that's what our music sounded like. So don't forget to look around and absorb your environment and put that into your music. Good luck. Keep playing. Don't drop your stick. See you later.